Why high achievers feels anxious when they stop working. If you feel anxious the moment you stop working, then this is for you. Most of the time you are staying in mind and doing things from mind, like solving problems, achieving, working on the task that is constantly keeping you in mind. So in that way you are totally focused in mind and not connected to your feeling body. So till the time you are in mind you feel fine, but when you stop working, when you stop thinking, then your consciousness start getting connected to your emotions. And since being in mind, you have always avoided your emotion, because in mind you are getting high and that high is giving you that dopamine effect, and from that high you are constantly getting kind of validation in the mind, and in that way you are living your life. This way of living has made you to stay in mind, and this has become addiction for you, because in that way you are not needed to feel your emotions. But the time when you have to stop working, like when you are going to sleep, or when you are in general with your family members, or where you start getting connected to feeling, then you start feeling anxious. This feeling is not because something wrong is happening. This is because you have been constantly avoiding your emotional body. Your emotional body was never addressed in your life. You were never taught how to tackle emotions. You were always told like to deviate mind when any emotions gets triggered in your life. So in that way you have started working in your life, and this has become your pattern. Now these emotions have been piled up inside your system, and you are constantly storing and holding it at the back end, and in the front end you are working on the task. Now that gap is very less. Once you stop working, that emotion comes to the surface. This way of living has made you become disconnected from your inner self, that self. So that self is now out of the equation, and you are constantly living like AI or like a robot, where you are only thinking but without emotions. So when you are going to sleep, or when you are doing things where emotions are involved, you start feeling anxious. You will feel that in your breath, your breathing pattern is highly dysregulated. Some of you may be suffering from that sleepless night or insomnia because you have never addressed your emotion. When we start working on ourselves, we have to consider ourselves overall as a being which is having that emotional body as well as mental body. But this emotional body is now needed to be more regularized, as well as this emotional body needs your attention, because it is high time as this emotional body imbalance is causing you anxiety. So this emotional body needs your attention. All these have caused fragmentation in your being, or fragmentation in your consciousness, and this fragmentation is what is draining your life essence. You are performing, but without that connectedness, without the life force energy. That's why you are getting burned out again and again. In Upanishad also it is mentioned that action done from the state of wholeness nourishes, and the action done from the state of division, fragmentation, drains life force energy. So look inside yourself and see where all the fragmentation is coming, work on yourself and move towards that wholeness and connectedness. In that way, you are totally safe in your body, safe in feelings, and there's a lot of love and compassion for yourself in your life.